talk show. Our guest tonight is... Jesus Christ. Yes, our guest tonight is, I believe, from outer space. We hardly know anything about him. He's a little pedantic, a little misanthropic, and very little outspoken. However, from his address and telephone list, which by a mysterious way came into our possession, we learned that the persons he addresses most frequently are Inspector Morse, the Queen, the Prime Minister, and Shirley Bassey. Above all, he has this thing, this obsession with cars. He drives his Morris as a bulldozer. He never really parks his car, he merely abandons it. Fortunately, he left his Morris behind, jumped on a plane from London, and he's here tonight with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Bean. Thank you. Yeah, we're going up here. No, this way. No, over there. Well, yeah, no, there. Yeah, there, fine. How did your flight go?
Oh, it was fine, thank you.
Good.
Very nice aeroplane.
It was. What brings you to Copenhagen?
Well, got a bit of a squeaky chair.
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
Well, okay.
Mind if we swap? Oh dear, I seem to be stuck. No, just joking. All right, I'll sit here.
Oh.
You've got some very squeaky chairs in here.
Well, I'll,
Well, I tell you what, let's,
could we get another chair,
we
please?
have another chair, please. These are appalling.
Yes. There
That's going to do nicely, thank you.
Yes. Is that all right?
Well, it's a bit pathetic, actually, but I suppose it'll have to do. Actually, it's quite nice that it's
Well,
Well, look, I must try and bend the thing. It's just ridiculous. There must be something wrong here. Just a minute. Let's get this.
is that
That'll
right?
sort it out.
Okay.
Sorry, Jarl.
Okay.
I'm sorry about
That's-
all the delays. Oh, dear.
What?
Oh, that's who it is.
What's that?
It's Molly. That's my Molly.
Okay.
I couldn't get a ticket for her on the plane, so she came in my pocket. Oh, and Polly. Molly and Polly. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Well, now that you're... Now Now that you're all here,
Yes, I'm all here, thank you.
okay.
More than I can say for some people.
Well,
That was just my little joke.
yes. But what brought you to Copenhagen?
Shopping.
Shopping?
Yes, I've been shopping, and look what I bought. I don't know if you've been buying these things, but they're very good value Mr. Bean videos. Yeah.
You bought them here.
And you can buy them.
Oh, you can?
You can buy them here in Denmark. Oh, yes. You can't escape the Mr. Bean cultural imperialism.
No.
Wherever you go.
Yeah,
but I think you've seen this one, haven't you?
I've seen the red one, yes.
But you haven't seen this one, have you? The green one?
No.
No. That's why I got this one specially.
Okay.
So, I'll just get this cassette out and we'll play it, and you can see some of these clips.
Yes.
Would you like to see that?
Well, yes.
Can we play that, please?
Well, I don't have a video recorder for this type of tape, actually. It's poured out.
You don't have a video recorder?
No.
Have you taken leave of your senses?
No, but I mean, on television in Copenhagen, we're not allowed to show VHS systems, so the quality is...
Well, how am I going to play? You haven't got a video recorder anywhere in this studio.
No,
Well, I'm just going to have to make one.
You're going to make one?
Yes. That's a good idea. I'm going to make a video recorder. Now, let me see. I'm going to make a video recorder. How can I... Let me see if that goes... I've got an idea. I was going to do some sewing, so I managed to get some thread. Look, you see, the bobbins of cotton. I've a funny feeling if I just get this... You see, that can go through there, and then I might, if I just go like that.
Yes.
Yes, you see? That's going to be quite successful, I think. Let's put those over there for a little while. I'll do that, and then... oh, yes, and here's another screwdriver. Never be without a screwdriver. I'm going to put that in there like that. That. There. You see? Now, that's sort of where the tape's going to go round, you see? I'll just lay it... there we go. Now, what else do we need? Oh, yes, I'll tell you what, we'll just sort of strap these together if we can. Let's just strap these together if we can. We'll go like that. So this really is an awful lot of trouble you're putting me to, Jarl. I have to say, when you can't even buy a video recorder for a visiting artist. There we go. And then this, you see, is very clever.
Yes.
Oh, this is the one. Yes, that's right. This is the one I want to play. Just take that off. And then, if I put that on there...
Yes.
Let me see now, and I'll just strap this on here.
It's a lot of tape.
Like that. We're going to put... Oh, come on, stick it. Once things stick, it's such a business to get it unstuck, isn't it?
Are you sure this is going to work?
This... No. No, I'm not sure it's going to work, but
right.
I have a hunch. I have a funny feeling. Now, let me see, it's going to go. Now, what we need is some electronics.
Yes, I believe so.
We need some circuitry and things.
Yes.
Do you have a phone?
Yes, I do.
Portable phone. Do you have one?
Yes.
In here?
Yes.
Ah! Oh, nice. Oh.
Yes, it's...
And it works, too.
We use it here.
Well, thank God it works.
Yeah.
This is what we want. We want this bit here. This is the business. Now, all we have to do is if we... Yes, this will do fine. You see, these batteries are terribly important. If we get the circuitry there, and this will connect in. Now, let me see. We need some more wire.
Yeah.
Now, Jarl, this lamp.
Yes. What about it?
Do you need it?
Yes.
You do need it.
Not anymore.
Well, I'll buy another one. Don't worry, now let's just find this wire. Yes, here. Here it is, look. Here it is, we've got the plug. I'm off the go the plugs. I might just put the vacuum there. Now, it's just... Yes, that's better. Right, now all we've got to do is get this wire. Now, we need a tiny bit, now the first thing... Come on, so much wire. Now, what I think we might do, actually, we might just get... I think I've got a pair of scissors here somewhere.
I'm still sure it's going to work.
Let me just get this out. I think it'll work, Jarl. I'm very confident. I don't mind telling you. I'm very confident. Now, all we have to do, I think... All we have to do, I think, is if we go like that, and then you see this. This is the baby. You see, that'll connect. Let's see, if we put that round the electronics there, this is a sort of oscillator. You see, we're using oscillator, which will go into a metal thing. Now, we need something, the metal about that big. Yeah. What's too kind of rubbery, isn't it? Do you have a pen?
Yes.
Do you have a pen at all?
Yes.
Well, come on, hand it over. Oh, a nice pen.
Yes, it's very expensive.
Right. Now, you see, there's a pen. You see, if we just attach... I just need a bit more wire off there. A bit more wire off there. Go like that. Now, you see, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. We just put that over there. That's the bottom of the one. Right, now, that'll be fine. Now, what we need is to connect this, the top of this. You see, it's very important. This, we just need to connect the top of the pen like that. And then we need to connect this into your video system so we can show it on the screen. Now, I tell you what, I might be able to get into this camera.
No, I don't think so.
Let me just, if I just lay this wire out here. Here we are now. Now then. Yes, this'll work fine, Jarl. Don't you worry. Everything, we just have to connect that into there. Like if I can just... Oh. Honestly, the things you have to do to make up. Right, that's there. Oh, now this really could come in. It's an electrical screwdriver, isn't it?
I can see that.
Now, that could be very useful. Thank you very much. This could be very useful now. Now, all we've got to do, you see, I've got that connected. So that goes to the camera, and we're getting the oscillator in there. Now, with a bit of luck, if I just bring this out here, like this, let's see, that should go round like that. Don't know if you can see this. And then round like... It's a bit primitive. I admit, it's a bit primitive.
I would say so.
But
yes,
I've got a feeling this might work out all right. Now, we'll wind that up like that.
I wouldn't be too sure about that.
I've got to wind that up like that. Come on. Wind that up like that. That's right. Now, you see, that's going to go. And
yes.
This isn't...
Yeah.
Not going to turn into something, are you?
No, I hope not. Please point it the other way.
Like a monster.
Yeah.
Right, now what I was thinking, I just wonder if I put this on here. Now get ready, because it'll come through without any warning at all.
Oh, yes, of course it will, yes.
I'm going to put the screwdriver in there, and then I'm going to go... Yeah.
I didn't. Yes. Just show me once again.
Oh, it's done something. Just put the screwdriver into this end and then go. Ah, look, you see? It's working. Look at it work. There it goes.
Could I have my phone back?
You want your phone back?
Yes, how?
Right.
How,
Right, okay.
How do you want me to ever use this one again?
Well, there you go. How do you want to use it?
Yes.
Well, all you do is you pick it up, you dial the number you want, and you put it to your ear, and when the person answers, you just speak, and then you'll hear their voice.
Yeah.
It's a phone.
Yeah,
It's a phone.
I'm aware of that. I mean, you come in here, you ruin the camera, you ruin my lamp, you ruin my telephone.
But it's still working, look.
That's another camera. Are there anything else you want to destroy? Not talk about, evade? No. I'd actually brought you a gift.
Oh, yeah.
But that was actually before I was aware that...
Isn't that nice? It's
Yes.
lovely. Hello. Hello, y'all.
Hello. And as you see, he has his own airline ticket, so you can bring it back. You don't have to hide it in your pants.
Y'all?
Yes.
Apart from an airline ticket, I'm not wearing any clothes at all.
His name is Sven.
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 Oh,
Yes.
I am sorry.
Okay. Before you leave, Mr. Bean,
Well,
I have...
actually, I've got a present for you.
Oh, you do?
Yes. I've got a present even more valuable than a teddy bear. And you know what it is?
No?
It's a video recorder. My video.
Thank you. Okay. But then again, I found this one.
Yes.
I believe it's your diary, right?
my diary.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? It says here on page 1, if I have been silly enough to mislay this diary, please return it to Mr. Bean. And P.S., a £5 reward would certainly not be out of the question. You owe me £5 if you want it. Now,
He is the simplest man in the world.
I'll ask you one last one. Do you have any musical favorites?
Well, obviously, there's one in particular.
Yes.
A very fine lady singer called Shirley Bassey.
Oh, you do?
And she is such a hero of mine. I am a big spender. Diamonds are forever, forever, forever. Yes, that's her. Oh, yes, well, she's terrific.
Yeah. Did you ever meet her?
No, sadly. She sent me a photograph once.
Oh, she did?
Of her dog. No, but I've never met her. No, Shirley, no.
Well, my other gift to you is that she's here exclusively for you, over there.
From the back.
Goldfinger, he's the man with the Midas touch, a spider's touch, such a cold finger beckons you to enter his web of sin. But don't go in.
Yes. It was not Shirley.
Come back!
It wasn't Shirley Bassey, I was just joking, haha. It was a new duo called Peaches and Bobo, and they're going to perform a song for you.
Another song?
Yes, a song by the singer-songwriters Rosted and Kreutzfeldt, and Danish equivalent to Lennon McCartney. And they're going to perform a song called Within My Heart.
I've always taken pride in leaving love behind. I did exactly as I pleased. Anytime and everywhere, knew that I would find you there. Then you came along and showed me I was wrong. You turned your back and walked away. It's now that I begin to see what you really mean to me. Within my heart, love would only tear my world apart. You set me free, and I can feel it when you shine that light on me. When love is passing by, the sorrow that's inside you stretches out across the world. Love don't count when love is blind, makes you leave the truth behind. Living with regret, you know I can't forget you. Think how good it used to be. I'm hoping you'll begin to see just what it is you mean to me.
Peaches and Bobos. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the song that they performed for you. Did you like it?
Sorry, you're talking to me.
Did
Sorry. Did you say something?
No. I'm perfectly. Here's your gift. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Bean. We were in London last week to meet one of Mr. Bean's friends. His name is Mr. Of course, he hasn't got any friends, but we met one who's been helping him writing the Bean series. His name is Richard Curtis.
When you're writing Mr. Bean, if you can call it writing, when I've done it, what I tend to do is either stand or sit and pretend I'm in the situation. So I remember there was one where he was waiting in a queue for the Queen Mother to come along the line. You know, they were all shaking hands. And I remember standing in my bedroom, for about 3 hours in a suit, saying, what could I do now? Because you haven't got anything to work with, really. You know, and that's where you think, oh, well, I could do something with a zip, or I could do something with a little bit of cotton, or my shoes, I need to polish them, and that kind of thing. So if anyone had been looking in the window, they would have thought I was mad. But that makes a nice change from looking at a TV, you know, at a computer screen. You actually have to do Mr. Bean. You can't think that'll work. I think you've got to actually say, well, let's say I'm sitting here, and there's a man with a sandwich there. What do I do? I sort of work on Mr. Bean by acting it out.
He was trained as an electrical engineer, decided on a showbiz career while at Queen's College, Oxford. He paved the way for a new British television comedy, not the 9 o'clock news, Blackadder, Mr. Bean. He's received numerous international prizes for his outstanding works, and he's known to be extremely selective about public appearances, and talk shows tops his list of things to avoid. Please welcome the man behind the mask, Rowan Atkinson. This time you take the shot. Everything's here. Rowan, I start with the most horrifying thing to do. I start with a quote that I read.
Oh dear.
From you. It says, the problem with talk shows is that you're supposed to amuse. I generally rely on being interesting rather than funny. They, that is us here, are not actually very interested in people who are very interesting. They just want people with wacky stories about airports, and I haven't really got any.
How true.
It's true.
How true. I haven't.
So how was Kastrup Airport?
No, I have no stories.
No. But how do you explain the man in the mask, the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde?
Well, I don't know really. I suppose it's just a job, you know, that's all. It's just I suppose that I'm just an actor, probably, at heart, rather than a comedian. I'm always rather confused, as I think I know you are, about whether I'm a comedian or whether I'm an actor.
No.
You know, or whether
No,
I'm
I'm
an
not
actor.
confused at
You're not
all,
confused
no.
at all? Oh, well, I'll stop talking.
I know you're boring now, and I know you will
exactly.
consider...
Exactly. You'll be nodding off in no time. I do draw a pretty sharp line between the two, which is why interviews like this are generally quite rare things, because I think generally that people want you to be funny, so I try not to be unfunny, but I try to make up for my lack of funniness within myself by hopefully trying to be, you know, vaguely intelligent and interesting about it. I can be funny, I think, as myself, when I'm with very good friends in small rooms, and I'm very relaxed.
Well,
but as soon as I'm in a big
it's just the
studio,
two of us here, so...
and all those millions, all those people out there.
No, but it strikes me that Richard Curtis says that you find almost nothing funny.
Yeah. I'm not a
almost
good...
got you there.
Yes, I almost laughed, didn't I? But not quite. No, I find it difficult to laugh at other things. Very few people and very few situations make me laugh. I sometimes feel some of it is in the back of me where I'm analysing the humour or I'm analysing the joke rather than enjoying it. So somebody tells a very good joke and I go, very funny.
And they stop telling jokes.
And they stop telling jokes, but I'm thinking about, yes, I suppose it is funny, you know what I mean? I'm kind of, it's sort of clocking, it's sort of slowly filtering its way down through the system. And sometimes I laugh a long time afterwards when I suddenly realise how well structured the joke was and how beautifully told it was. And then I can laugh at it.
And then people look at you if you were some...
Yes, many, many hours later, as if I'm a madman. I mean, generally I enjoy the performance more than the joke. I usually enjoy the performer and his attitude. You know, it's the attitude with which humour is told which I enjoy so much. In other words, generally the things that make me laugh are characters, you know, it's people who kind of present a sort of truth to you. I mean, even though it's mad or it's funny or it's wacky or it's rude or it's silly, but there's a sort of a truth there that you identify with and you think, I know that situation, I've been there, or I've seen someone like that on the train, or I am someone like that, and I prefer to keep it hidden. And yet here I am being characterized extremely well, and that does make me laugh.
So dramatic situations rather than jokes.
Yes, exactly.
How would you describe Mr. Bean? I mean, I wondered about the name. Bean, has been, a vegetable. No.
Yeah. We started with you know, zucchini, and and
Mr. Zucchini.
Mr. Zucchini,
Yeah.
or Mr. Potato, or Mr. Cauliflower, or Mr. Cabbage, or you know, Mr. And then we just sort of thought, Bean. You know, it's short and it's silly, and we were, yeah, it was either that or the name of a bird, you know, Mr. Wren or Mr. Chaffinch, but you know, birds and vegetables tend to be the funniest names, they say.
Birds and vegetables.
So we homed in on Bean. Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, there's a homage to Jacques Tati's Monsieur Hulot.
Yes, there was. I mean, and it's quite real. I mean, I don't think Mr. Bean is anything like Monsieur Hulot.
No.
I think he is quite different, but at the same time, there are similarities. And it's something about the comedy of not much happening, of nothing happening. The first Mr. Bean sketch that Richard Curtis and I ever wrote was, well, from what that falling asleep joke came from the church sketch, which was in the very, very first.
Yes, I saw that.
Mr. Bean, when he can't stay awake in the church and the sermon is droning on and he can't he can't stay awake. And in theory, nothing's happening. I mean, when you explain the joke to people, you know, we had this one line, man can't stay awake. That was the script.
And it takes 10 minutes.
And it takes 10 minutes.
Right.
And you read it and you think, well, I don't know, you know, it might be funny, but what's funny about it? And what's funny is the sort of truth of it, is the fact that you can see yourself there and you think, yes, actually, you know, if I was slightly less self-conscious and slightly less aware of myself, if I had slightly less self-control, then I would be like Mr. Bean, and I too would be on my head on the floor with my feet in the air. And you can sort of, and you identify with it, but it's sort of the comedy of nothing happening. I mean, there aren't, you know, fire engines or police cars or men rushing in the door or women with underwear around their ankles. It's all, you know, it's very kind of uneventful. It's very ordinary, very basic sort of stuff, like the man making the sandwich. Mr. Bean making the sandwich in the park, that you sort of say, well, that's, you know, that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. But he does it in a very eccentric way. And you think, no, that's not. And yet, you know, if you were in that situation, you might do something similar, but you'd stop yourself. Well, I would.
Cheers.
Cheers, to good health.
But if we compare Monsieur Hulot and Mr. Bean,
Yeah.
there's a difference in psychology as well.
Yes, there is. Well, I mean, Mr. Bean is nastier. Mr.
Yeah, I
Bean
would
is
say
quite
so.
a nasty man.
Why?
He's quite... Well, because if he has any morals, if he has any values, then they're the morals of a 9-year-old boy. That's how I always see him. If anyone wants to ask a question about Mr. Bean, you know, what would he do if this happened? You know, what sort of car does he drive? What does he dream about? I would say, what does a 9-year-old boy think about? And then I say, oh, that's what he'd think about. And of course, towards women, for instance, he's, you know, he sort of romanticizes them, you know, they're sort of mother figures, I suppose, more than... But the idea of a relationship or a sexual relationship, and that is just not part of his makeup at all. It just wouldn't never enter his brain.
No.
I mean, you must presume that he knows nothing about it. You must presume that.
No, but the good thing about nine-year-old kids are that they have parents to kind of control them.
Yes.
Mr. Bean is totally...
He's an orphan. Yes, he's an orphan. He's a child without parents.
Yes.
And of course, we haven't given him parents. We haven't given him any family. He has no friends.
No, it just comes from above.
He's just sad. He's a poor,
Oh,
poor
yeah, that's it.
man.
Yeah, we all feel.
But he makes me laugh. He really does. I mean, of all the people that I've played or tried to create, there's something about him that gets to me. That sometimes I can, when we're rehearsing or when we're trying to write and we're thinking of situations, and you think, yes, that's just what Mr. Bean would do, and it makes me laugh.
But it's funny, the more alien, the more malicious, the more cowardish he is, the more we laugh. Maybe from fear, I don't know. We asked one of the more well-known Bean watchers to give his opinion. You can see it on the screen here.
I think it's very clever in as much that it translates worldwide because of the lack of dialogue. I mean, in much the same way that Benny Hill translated worldwide. But I think maybe because of that, there's reductionism in the terms of the comedy. It becomes a very simplistic form of comedy. Because if it's just a visual gag, you have to be not too sophisticated to devise visual gags that are going to work throughout the world.
Set David Bowie that we met in London last week.
How flattering.
Yes. But do you agree with him that a silent character has certain limitations?
Well, yes, generally visual comedy, because it's so accessible, because it's so obvious, really, it's so simple, which is why, you know, children from the age of 3 can enjoy Mr. Bean. And people aged 85 and 100 can enjoy Mr. Bean. It appeals across a very broad age range, but particularly to the very young, because it's so simple, it's so manifest. There are no words, and there are no literary references. There's nothing subtle about it, I'm afraid, in the end, and that is the limitation. In the end, particularly, you know, if we live as we do in an educated society, you know, we read books and we enjoy words and we enjoy word play and we enjoy literature, then I know a lot of people, for instance, who like the Blackadder, which was full of words and full of silliness and metaphor and great long, ridiculous, eloquent
dialogue,
expressions of simile and all sorts of... you know, complicated English, basically, complicated words, that they don't like Mr. Bean. They find it too simplistic, as David Bowie used the right word. Simplistic it is, and that's the limitation. And in the end, I feel as though you can get a bit sick of it. I mean, you can enjoy it. I haven't got sick of it yet, because he amuses me, and he makes me laugh.
Even before Blackadder, before Mr. Bean, you popped up of the British Review with as an artist who had almost entire artistic control. I have a small clip I'm going to show you where you, with almost no words, get the grasp of the audience. It's a bit from the Schoolmaster sketch.
Oh, right.
Nancy Boy Potter. Nibble. Orifice. Plectrum. Poins. Sediment. Soda. Ta. Under manager. Zob. Absent.
Taken from this Secret Policeman's Ball for the benefit of Amnesty International. And with this kind of material, you kind of set the example of a new British comedy. They talked about the new John Cleese, the new Benny Hill. Was it difficult to be a comedian in that post-Python period?
Yes, it was. We were constantly... Yes, because Python was at its height when I was at university, when I was at college, and they were the heroes, and I started working, you know, on Not the 9 O'Clock News and the Blackadder within 5-7 years of that time, and it was difficult because it's like this shadow hanging over you. And that's why the Blackadder was set in the 15th century, because we were so aware of Fawlty Towers, which was the other thing that was going on just before we did the Blackadder. We thought, how are we going to make a program which is not compared unfavourably to Fawlty Towers? And so we thought, well, at least if we set it in the 15th century, they can't possibly, surely, draw any parallels with a hotel on the south coast of England in 1975. And I don't think they did. They hated it for other reasons, but they didn't compare us unfavourably with Fawlty Towers. Yeah. But it was, and Not the 9 O'Clock News, luckily, was very different from Monty Python. I mean, completely different. Monty Python was very wacky and very surreal, totally absurd. And really, Not the 9 O'Clock News was something else. Not the 9 O'Clock News was about reality. It was about kind of more about real performances and hopefully, you know, a bit more sort of real characterization and parodying real television and television news of the time.
On Not the 9 O'Clock News, it was Mel Smith, yourself, and Griff Rhys-Jones, with Pamela Stevenson, who did that. We stopped Griff Rhys-Jones in London to ask him, yes, just to give us a comment on you, because he knows you.
Rowan is an extraordinary comedian, because just, you know, every time you go and see somebody else, a comedian, on the stage, you always think, well, I wish I had his act. Well, that's a good idea. I wonder if I could pinch that. Or, yes, that's a remarkable thing. I can use that. I could probably develop that. With Rowan, when you watch him, particularly on stage, you think, that's absolutely extraordinary. How, you know, that's so unique that you have no, sometimes it defies a sort of sense of analysis. And all I feel when I watch him is that I could never do that, that his style of performing is so unique and extraordinary that it's inimitable and therefore very, very precious in a sense, to watch. And I don't really mean that as a criticism. I only mean that when he does something like the schoolmaster monologue, which relies upon 5 names and a great deal of inner presence in order to maintain the structure and the performance, that's a very different form of comedy from the sort that I feel comfortable doing, which is very loose. I mean, I'd sort of a messy comedian, if you like, and he's an enormously precise comedian, and that's a wonderful skill.
Well, nice words. How did a messy comedian from Cambridge and a perfectionist like yourself from Oxford happen to work together?
The BBC are very good. The BBC are very good at bringing people from very diverse backgrounds with diverse attitudes together. And it was one of those things that was got together by the producer, John Lloyd, who I've worked with a great deal since. He produced The Blackadder also. And he just chose, from what I gather, 4 people, the 4 of us, to do things together. And and the great thing about a team, I'm so glad I did it. I was going to do a program by myself at first at another television station, and I made one program in which I played 3 different characters, and that's what I was going to do as a series, just me, you know, the Rowan Atkinson show.
Yeah, it looks nice.
and I was very scared about the Rowan Atkinson show. It didn't seem to me to be the right thing to do at that time, and I thought I'd much rather do something in which I'm just a little bit more in the background, in which we can share the responsibility, the team way. Share the responsibility, and if it's good, you all take the credit, and if it's bad, you say it was him. He was bad, I was fine.
When you did not, TV was the target, also the TV interview was.
Do you mind if I call you Elton?
No, it's fine.
Good. Well, Elton. I'm sure the first question that everybody would like to ask you is this. Funny name, Elton. How did you come by it?
Well, I used to be in a band, and I wanted to become a singer in my own right, and I wanted to choose a name, and the saxophone player in the band was called Elton, so I chose that name.
Did you ever consider John Elton?
No.
You didn't? No. Okay. Right, well, let's start with those early albums, then. One of which I believe was called simply Elton John.
Yes, that's correct.
And you didn't feel awkward with the name at all?
No.
You didn't feel that people might say, wait a minute, they mean John Elton. They've cocked up the record sleeve and printed the bloody name the wrong way around. You didn't think that?
No, I thought it sounded great, and, you know, I thought people would be more interested in the music rather than the name.
Now, to the songs themselves, many of the lyrics were, of course, written by Bernie Taupin.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Well, I'd like to talk about Bernie for a while, since obviously he's been an enormous influence on your career.
Yes, he has, yes.
Tell me, did you ever discuss changing his name? Because presumably Taupin Bernie would have been more consistent with your Elton John.
Look, do you want to talk about the old songs or not?
All right, the songs. The old songs. Your song is a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite popular, yes.
Well, there is a verse in that song in which, talking about the eyes of the person that the song is about, you sing, "Excuse me for asking, these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue."
Yes.
What I'd like to know is this. Is it this sort of chronic forgetfulness that led you to forget that Elton is not, in fact, a Christian name at all? It is a surname. And not a very attractive one at that. Well, I had some questions to ask him.
Relevant ones?
And he found it difficult to answer them.
Yeah, he did, of course he did.
That's all I can say.
Where will Mr. Bean's escapades end, do you think? You're not tired of him
We
yet.
had an idea, but... Should I tell you what the idea
Yes,
is?
please do.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, all right, yes, I will. It was this idea for the last, which we may never do, the last episode of Mr. Bean, is that he's driving along a country lane extremely fast in his Mini, and he sees this spaceship landing in a field, and he stops the car, and he looks out, and he thinks, what's that spaceship doing there? And he drives into the field with his Mini, and he stops outside the spaceship. And he looks around, and he looks up, and suddenly the door goes... and this bright light comes out of the spaceship. And a Mr. Bean walks out of the spaceship.
Of course.
And then another Mr. Bean walks out of the spaceship. And he sees Mr. Bean, and they all shake hands. And Mr. Bean says, hello, hello, how are you? And then 25 more Mr. Beans all come out of the spaceship, and they all pat him on the back and say, you know, very nice to see you. And then all the Mr. Beans go up into the spaceship, and he shakes hands with the captain and the guy on the bridge. And then the door goes up, and the spaceship takes off. And that's the end of Mr. Bean. So thereby, kind of, but we may do it. We may do it. It's a kind of silly idea. I mean, there is this idea that he may not be of our world. He may be from another place.
I believe he is. Then I won't have to ask you about the future of British comedy.
What, because I'll be gone?
Yes, you will. So you wouldn't be able to answer that. No,
I'll be out of there.
I'm going to ask you 5 quick ones.
Oh, thanks me.
The nasty part, yes.
Do I win any money if I get them all?
No, you still owe me £5.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you hate...
You know I hate...
What was that?
Being asked 5 questions.
Okay.
I was just a face.
You have a lot of faces.
Nothing exciting.
Okay. Which of your many faces are your favourite one?
Probably one of Mr. Bean's. Just that sort of lost.
Okay.
Somebody lost. That amuses me.
Is that because you feel mostly connected to that feeling of being lost?
I feel for him. Yes, I do feel for him. I feel for his loneliness. Yeah.
Are you a loner?
Is that the second question, or a follow-up to number 1? Am I a loner? No, I like being alone for some of the time, but most of the time I enjoy being with people I love. Oh.
That's nice. Well, I'm asking you because I'm aware that you're very protective about your private life, and
Yes.
I won't go into that much. But I know that your other passion, besides that of acting,
Yes.
is cars.
Yes, yes, I do have a great interest in motor cars and motorsport. Yep, motor racing.
Why cars? You even write about cars.
I don't know. I write about them, yeah, from a monthly magazine in England. I don't know. I've always loved them. I think it's being a farmer's son that I was, that somehow you grow up with machinery and tractors and combine harvesters and on the land, and there's something about machinery that I've just always enjoyed, and there's something, it's a great release driving, actually.
But if you yourself were a car, what kind of car would that be?
If I were a car,
Yes.
what kind of
You did
car
a sketch
would that
one
be?
where it was called Mr. Car Park, I remember.
Yes,
So-
yes. Oh dear me, what kind of car would I be?
But don't go into that.
I'd be
Morris?
No, I'd be. I think I'd be quite a discreet car.
Aston Martin?
Not to. Yeah, I mean Aston Martins are cars that I've had a few, as you know, cars.
Yes.
And I've tended to come back to Aston Martins because they are sort of discreet, but they're very English. They're very fast, which I'm not. But there's some, yeah, yes, an Aston Martin or a Lancia, an Italian car called Lancia. I enjoy them. Well, the fast ones.
The fast ones.
Not the slow ones.
You don't drive too fast, do you?
Not too fast,
Oh.
no. No, just fast enough. That's how fast
Okay.
I drive.
Then, okay, if you were a car, where would you park?
These are very difficult questions, yeah, I can't tell you.
Yes,
Here,
but I'm
in a
trying
car
to-
park, I'd park in a garage.
Oh, you do?
I'd stay off the street. Yes, I'd want to be in a garage at night.
Protected.
Protected, yes, exactly. And out of the public gaze.
The reason why I ask is, of course, you've toyed with the idea of acting in Los Angeles. You played a part in Hot Shots too.
Yes.
I was wondering, maybe you would park your talent in Hollywood for a while.
Park my talent in Hollywood? Well, that's...
For them to exploit.
Well, that's not the equivalent of parking in a garage. That's the equivalent of
No.
parking in the middle of an airfield with bright lights on you from all sides. That's the equivalent there.
Yeah, but you park privately in a garage,
park
but...
and then run out into the middle of the airfield and then...
Professionally.
Run back into the garage again. Hollywood is a very, very difficult place to be, as I'm sure you know, particularly for a foreign artist. I mean, foreign to America, i.e. all of us. It is a very difficult place to act because they've got their own agenda and their own way of making films and their own ideas about how you should be packaged and what you can do. And something I suppose I've grown to believe in over the years is in my own instinct, and I think I know best what I can do. I'm very difficult to fit in to the Hollywood jigsaw.
Yeah.
I'm a very awkward shape.
Very nice meeting you.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice trip back. Rowan Atkinson, ladies and gentlemen.
I talkshowet næste uge kan de møde Wendy Houston, Placido Domingo, gæster hos verdensstjernen Inga Nielsen.